Alright, I wanted to make a video today about these three pens and just show them side by side so you can see at home the differences and the similarities between these three. I chose these three to go to put against each other just because, well, for instance, these two are both not disposable, but they're fountain pens that are cartridge refills. So for instance, the Platinum Preppy pen has a cartridge of ink that fills up the pen. The same goes with the School Q, which is a fountain pen, but it has a fine, supposed to be, I guess, a kind of like a G pen type nib. The Preppy just has a regular steel fine nib, size 3, right? Regular steel fine nib. And then, of course, then this is the G pen nib. And if you haven't seen, I did a review on the deleter package that comes with the G pen nib. I'll link that down below in the description. You can check that out. So I'm not going to talk about this much. I just want to show you all the variations in lines that you can get with these three. So what I'm going to do is I did these quick sketches of Rohan Marley, young Rohan. But yeah, I just did 3 sketches really quick, and I'm just going to ink them in for you guys. We'll see how it goes. So first, I'll start with the Preppy pen.
And then after I get done sketching, we'll talk about what I like and what I don't like about the different pens, and what I feel like are some of the strong points on some of them. Okay, so. Alright, so that's the Preppy pen. Next we're going to move on to the School G.
just gonna let you all know my thoughts on each of these pens, what I feel like is the positives and the negatives about each of them. Okay, so start off with the Preppy pen. Honestly, my real opinion about all of these, I don't like the Preppy pen personally. It's not my favorite of the bunch. The reason being is it doesn't create, it doesn't have any line variation. One, the nib is really stiff. It's a very stiff nib, and it doesn't give any variations on the lines. Another thing is that the ink in the cartridge that you get with the Preppy pens, it doesn't seem to be black to me. It seems to be like really light gray, or a dark gray, excuse me. It just doesn't seem to come out black to me personally. And when I use the pen, I feel like as you can see kind of right here, let me get closer, but the pen deposits the ink more at the end of strokes. So it's, as you can see, it's dark at the end of the stroke, and it's really light gray in the middle of the stroke. So when you do hatching, you get a dark end on the line, and in the middle of the hatch, it tends to lighten up a little bit. And I don't like that personally. So for the Preppy pen, I would have to say this is number, well, I'm not gonna give it a number. That's just my thoughts. I mean, other than that, the good thing about it is that it's refillable, and it gives you a fountain pen nib. So if you cannot afford maybe like a refillable fountain pen with like an ink cartridge converter, I would recommend this. Is very cheap. It's a good price. So if you're just starting out, it's definitely something you might want to check out if you want to ball on a budget. Next, we'll look at the G pen, the School G. The School G for manga by Tachikawa, the Tachikawa company out of Japan. Now this is another fine nib pen. Let me see if I can focus it. Take the cap off. All right, let's see, it's got Tachikawa on the nib. This is another fine nib pen, a refillable fountain pen, but of course it uses cartridges. It does not refill with a bottle of ink. But so my thoughts on this pen. Personally, I like how this pen works, just because you can get line variations with this nib. As you can see, for instance, right here, I went from a thin line and moved into a thicker line right there on the eyebrow. Right here again, under the lip, use a thicker line. Right here in the beard, thicker line. Oh, I'm drawing lines again. And again in the hair, different places around the drawing. So it does give some line variation. I like that. In the nose, I think I did this in one stroke. So from thick to thin to thick. The color of the ink seems to be more black than the Preppy, so I like that. The way the nib lets out the ink seems to be more even. The strokes, when you do hatching, comes out a little more even than as it is over here, where it's dark and then light. Right here it looks a little more even, as I did the hatching strokes. And with the School G, it's about the same price as the Platinum Preppy, and they are both refillable, but with cartridges. You have to buy the cartridge, and if you unscrew the pen, the cartridge is inside. So that's that. I like this pen, especially for the price, and that you can refill the ink. Okay, full reviews on both of these pens are coming up soon. And last but not least, the GOAT, the GOAT of them all, the G nib dip pen. So the positives of this pen, of course, is that you get a sharp looking line. I haven't erased the pencil under this line, but there's something about the nib of a G pen, or just using a nib pen in general. It gives you a certain sharpness to your lines that you just can't get, I think, from other types of pens. So that's one thing I like about this pen, is the quality of the line that it makes. And also, since it's a dip pen, you can choose the ink. You can choose the ink that you use for the pen, and with that, you get a good darkness. And also, you can use colors, so you could buy colored ink and you still get the same lines, but with color. The other thing I like, of course, is the G pen. It flexes really nice, so you get a nice wide variety of line types with this pen. And of course, the only downside for me is that you have to continuously dip this pen into ink to keep it flowing. So that's always the negative with the G nib or whatever, or using dip pens in general, is that you always have to keep ink with you to put the nib back into the ink. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And again, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. If you like the video, make sure you give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about any of these pens that are used in the video, please leave a comment down below and I'll make sure I get back to you. And also, I'm gonna ask you, what is your favorite inking pen or fountain pen? Let's keep it the fountain pens or dip pens. What is your favorite fountain pen or your favorite dip pen? That's my thoughts on these. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe as well, because we're gonna have more coming soon. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll holler at y'all again. Peace.